It began with a stone that should not have been able to fly. In the late 1700s, deep in the limestone quarries of southern Germany, miners split open rock that had slept for millions of years. Inside was something unsettling. Bones stretched impossibly thin, fingers elongated like wires, a body shaped not for land, not for water, but for the sky. No one knew what they were looking at. Some whispered it was a sea creature. Others thought it a demon, trapped in stone. The fossil was passed from hand to hand, from curiosity to controversy, until it reached scholars who stared at it with growing unease. This thing didn't fit the world they understood. Birds were alive. Bats were alive. But this was something else, something ancient. In 1784, German naturalist Cosimo Alessandro Collini finally described the fossil in scientific detail. He believed it was aquatic, perhaps a strange swimmer that paddled through prehistoric seas. It was a reasonable guess, because the alternative was unthinkable, that a reptile had once flown. At the time, flight belonged to angels and birds. Reptiles were heavy, crawling things, bound to the ground. The idea that one had ruled the air felt like a challenge to nature itself. So the fossil lingered in uncertainty, its wings misunderstood, its true story silenced by disbelief. Then came the rehook, the shift that changed everything. In 1801, Georges Cuvier re-examined the bones and made a daring claim. Those elongated fingers, they weren't for swimming. They supported a vast membrane of skin. This animal hadn't lived in the sea. It had soared above it. The first flying vertebrate had been revealed. Pterosaurs weren't birds. They weren't dinosaurs either. They were something entirely their own, masters of the Mesozoic skies, launching from cliffs, riding thermal currents, casting shadows over ancient forests. Some were small enough to perch on branches. Others would one day grow larger than giraffes, with wings wider than fighter jets. But it all began with that single fossil, fragile, flattened, and nearly dismissed. That stone forced humanity to confront a humbling truth. The world before us was stranger, bolder, and more imaginative than we had ever dared to believe. Evolution didn't inch forward cautiously. Sometimes it leapt straight into the air. Every time we look up at the sky today, we're seeing a space once conquered by creatures long erased from memory, saved only by chance and curiosity. If this story lifted your imagination even a little, help us keep these moments alive. Like the video, share it with someone who loves discovery, subscribe for more hidden chapters of history, and comment below. What ancient mystery should we uncover next?